All right, good morning, everybody. It is just about, well, it's almost 11 o'clock, so we'll get started in just a minute. Just make sure I have everything I want. Got the disclaimer ready. I'll probably go through the two trades Mitch is going to post today. And I'm going to do the broad market analysis. I'm going to start with the broad market analysis. If you guys have symbols, yeah, I can look at LNG. LNG, I haven't heard that in a little bit. I'll look at the pound real quick. Sure, no problem. Yeah, pound USD or pound futures. That doesn't matter. I'll just one of them. Okay, great. So let me share my screen so I can pop up the disclaimer. Okay. All right, there you go, guys. So if you guys can see the disclaimer, just read that so I can stay out of trouble. And I will get into the broad market. Yeah. I usually like to give a 5-minute overview, but I have a student coming into the office today, so I'm excited. I only get to meet people like once or twice, here and there. So let me get over to the market now that you guys have had the disclaimer up, and I will get to your questions and the trade setup. So let me go to the S&P. I'm going to use the broad market S&P 500 as my gauge here. Horizon, let's do ES. Okay. The lines are a disaster because I did a lot of market analysis last week. You guys go back and check the videos. Basically, when I was saying broad market, I'm looking at like bigger picture analysis, not so much like a trade decision where we get an entry, but just kind of, yeah, you lean one way or another, right? So the market's coming down, you want to take shorts off of lower time frame supply zones. And then on Friday, the market just freaking rocketed. It was insane. So let me clean this chart up and then we'll dig deeper. Settings. Okay. So we have a fresh chart. This is a daily chart. So each candle is a day on the S&P 500 futures. Okay. So let me make this a little wider for you guys. So here's where we are now. Right there. Okay, so this is today's candle. Kind of just opened with a whimper and then it just rocketed. This is the downside I was looking at last week. And, we got a little bit of a move up, then it came down and then just, like I said, rocketed on Friday. So far I've been bullish. I don't know where the stabilizing factor of the market's coming in. The unrest in the UK was hurting, I think, the market. A relatively smaller economy, but still in the top 10, top 5, I believe. And the Chinese buying of stocks, I think, is really what's holding up this rally here. If you guys, I don't trade on news, but I'm kind of on top of stuff. We'll put it that way. China ordered their central bank and some funds to arrest the slide, if you will. So they have to start buying. So I think that's propping up our market because our hedge funds have tons of money over in China stocks, virtually all kinds of stuff. If you hear it, it's insane. So we've had pretty nice bullish days here of price going up. On the daily chart, there is some areas here that I think should be a worry, but I don't know if they're gonna. So if you go up here, right, so this green candle here, let's look right here and let's measure that out. You see how there's the sideways action and the big drop there? So if I throw some lines on that, I'm just kind of curious how far that goes, right? Because I think this might be a turning point for the market where I think we could reverse back to the downside. And I will get into a little bit of detail here. All right, so there's about a 5-to-1 juice, I call it, in that trade. Okay. So we could be hitting a point where the markets will start to turn around and potentially dump. There's another one right above here. That little green candle is like talking to me. Not as strong, but I call this a level on a level. Just barely meets the criteria for that. So I actually think these are some turning points that I want to say they're going to slow down this rally. I don't think they're going to force us back to the lows. I don't think, okay, when I'm just looking at this big picture. but it's a perfectly fine trade. It's a little bit wide. I would go down to the micros if I was going to take a trade off of this, because once you go above these two levels here, let me circle the other one because I want to make sure we keep an eye on these, right? These two levels are where I think the market could turn back to the downside. Now, are they going to push us back to the lows? Like, I just got a vibe, no. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you know, that's just my instinct there. Not instinct, but just experience, looking at chart, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because above there, we've got this tested area here, this area, but it's, you know, kind of based on air. And then after that, there's not a whole lot of good, healthy supply zones above. And that's the most recent high. You know, so something's got to hold the market down if it gets legs to it. We have the election coming in 2 weeks, I believe. So that's going to add a little element of volatility this week. Some big earnings names, Google today. You know, going to have more tech. I think Apple is the end of the week. So that's going to move the market. So we'll see if that either the market likes what it hears or doesn't. But these are two areas where I think could slow down the rally at minimum. Slow down the rally. And then on big picture, it could have pushed us back down to the lows, of course, but just getting the vibe that the market wants to recover going into the new year a little bit. You know, and that's, like I said, not a trading decision. So let me go into the like something on a lower time frame, like on an hour. Yeah, here's an hourly chart. And let's just kind of see if there's anything for us to trade off of. Not really. No, nothing. Well, that's not shocked, but yeah, even on the 5 minute, there's not a whole lot here. And we would need price to turn around pretty drastically. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, the market's probably just going to keep heading for today anyway. Now, if it sells off, we could look at, you know, let me just change this to 15. You know, do I want to be catching a falling knife with a 15-minute chart? Not really. So, you know, like there's a little guy there and something there. Not something I want to be kept putting money behind, you know, for a, if we get a big drop, you don't want to be catching a falling knife with a 15-minute chart. Let's put it that way, especially on the ES. So you know, that's all I got here for the broad market analysis. I actually think we're going to keep going higher. And then when we get these 2 points, they will be the point that slows the market down and does turn us to the downside. But for how long is the question? Gonna have to wait and see on the chart. If it does start to turn around, we should see a pause right around it. Let's go back to the daily because I want to make sure I highlight that, because I know a couple of you, it's like you're at the point now where you've done enough trades, you're trying to get better at your exits, right? So like for me, okay, good. So this little area here, you know, I was talking to a student last night, you know, he's talking about like a sloppy level for the exits, and that's kind of how that's what I call it. This area here where price left, right? That's a good exit if you got short from one of these levels, right? Because it's at the 3-to-1 mark. It's where price turn. Doesn't have to be as perfect, or at least move your stop. Do something to get yourself book some profit on that. We'll get a little bit more specific when it's a more specific trade. But for right now, I think these are the two big turning points in the market after this you know, little recovery we're going through right now. So that's the S&P. Let me just grab, I got to pause the share screen for a second and pause share. Let me grab the two new trades Mitch is going to put in today. Okay, so I just, he'll put this into the presentation mode, and then we'll probably have an extra call next week because we're changing. We're gonna get something new to show you, so it's gonna be pretty cool for distributing trades. So that's MRK. So let's go into here. Okay. And we'll see how far this is. I know everyone's struggling a little bit to keep track of symbols. So yeah, MRK is near a new high, near $100. We really need a sizable pullback to get into the entry that Mitch is going to put at 93. Still keep an eye on it because you guys know before you know it, sometimes you know you're waiting on these trades and they come to you when you're not paying attention. So an alert around 95. Next one is a short, I believe. So, oh, Comcast. Okay, that's coming back. CM. All the C's in Comcast. Get rid of all of this. The entry point is 34. Yeah, that's a ways away too. But earnings came out, I guess didn't do much. Or that actually probably was up recovery 34. Oh, it's all the way up here. All right, so we got a little time to wait for that entry. I like this quite a bit though. Can you tell? Definitely can. The answer is you can. Should you? It's a little far away. You're probably going to get okay premium. You're not going to get great premium. The way to get great premium is like, we'll have it. Let's have a private conversation with that. Send me a DM. You definitely could sell a spread around there. I don't know what the premium is right now. It's a $30 stock. I would pass. There's better names to do spreads on than Comcast. For a buy and a put, it's excellent, excellent, because it's going to be $5, give or take a little for buying out a lot, and if it goes from 33 down to 30, Moon's going to pay 150, $200. So all in all, a pretty nice trade if it gets there, but we got to wait a little bit. So what I would do is set an alert on that one around 33, 32, 33, but right now, I like I said, if the market's going to recover, this actually may overlap with the broad market coming down. So Comcast will get posted today, and Merck is more than likely, I want to say Comcast will get there first. Merck is still quite a bit above current price. Yes, I can go back to this chart. No, so should be here. You're getting there. Might happen today. Yeah, it's another 22-point rally. Markets at 40 points. Maybe it could be today. Could be in the opposed market tonight. See what happens. But yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me take a screenshot for you. All right, I'll put it in the chat for you. All right, there you go. You are welcome. All right, so let's go. You guys are treated. Oh, okay. LNG and GBP USD. Okay, so I already did GBP USD because one of my students was asking about it. Had a nice move up on this news of the new prime minister. So that's right now, fairly bullish after a disastrous, drop. Has recovered some, so that's good for them. But then there's these two areas here that I think are going to pose a problem. That one's pretty nice, got a nice drop. Depending on the entry, it's a fairly reasonable size level, and it's a 4-hour chart. I like that quite a bit. And then there's this right here. This is a very clear level on a level situation. This one is the pretty one. This is the ugly one. Usually the ugly level tends to work. It is what it is. You may have to take a loss on this first one and get it on that one. But that's where we could be. Price will have to get back into like a severe uptrend. It has to slice through these two yellow boxes first. But I will take a trade at this first one, and I'll reassess if it gets to the second one. I will do it with the pound futures chart. It's the same. So I just have the GBP USD up here because I was chatting with a student prior to this Zoom call. So yeah, keep an eye on it. It's a really nice level. LNG. Okay, give me 1 second. Good questions today, guys. Sold the vertical. Okay. I don't necessarily understand the trade perfectly. Maybe we could talk later. No, I don't like that all. Well, that's just me. So here's the 165 area that you were looking. I understand why you did that. Okay. No, because I bet the premium you were just looking at the greedy bastard. So so this in here, like it's not the prettiest demand zone. That guy there was touch, fell back in, touch. Is it gonna hold a bunch more time? It was like, that's right around 65, right? Let's get the price correct. 165, 165. Yeah, so I think this could be, and what's the expiration? Oh, you cut it loose already. Oh, okay. Okay. It was a debit. I'm sorry, but I sold the clothes. I misunderstood. Okay. Um, got it. Yeah. Well, yeah, this 165 is, I mean, it's already coming down. Curious, I didn't look at oil today, but this is already coming down. And this isn't, I don't want to bet the ranch on anything. I'm not taking a trade here, but it gets back to that 165 area. It's not gonna hold again, I don't think. Could I be wrong? Of course. Let's just go quickly to a lower time frame, see if we see something. 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Just curious. Yeah, but that 165, I don't think that trade at all. No, there's some stuff here, but I don't. If you guys watch me or listen to me, I'm very particular what I want to see, and I don't see it. I just move on. I got stuff to do, man. I don't have time to just be in trades for no reason. But these two levels here are interesting, but I just don't know. Right there. One. These are two sloppy-ish levels. I like that one. I like that wave that's pointing the way. So 171, 76. Yeah, I mean, you can buy puts at either of these. Yeah, sure. Right? You're going to, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to look, you go into the options course, and there's a whole section on like getting into the. All right, we'll talk later. We'll talk later. Just grab my calendar link and we'll have a convo about it. These are okay levels. I don't love them, but they'll do. But that 165, yeah, I think you did the right thing. Not sure how you selected that, but yeah, I don't particularly like that. So, you're welcome. You're welcome. But there's someone who watched one of my videos, got an Aussie USD trade out of it. You got one loss off of it. Yeah, that I did see that. The Aussie, like the lower time frames didn't hold, and then the higher time frame ones that I was talking about in the video held perfectly. So it is what it is. Let's see. Yes. So I think that's kind of, guys, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes for the questions. I wanted to make sure today we got through the broad market, and yes, I will look at Apple. I wonder if it looks at Google, but Apple's got earnings coming up. So like just even if the chart looks good, I think it's Friday. I took the earnings off of here for what I was doing some analysis a couple of weeks ago doing a course. Kind of sloppy zone here, right where price is, which good. It overlaps with Google. I don't know if Google's is after tonight or it came out already. I want to say tonight. We did have this here, and I was showing one of my prospective students a few weeks ago. I don't really particularly let me give this a blue box. And you got earnings coming. Just move on to it. Don't force these things, okay? Let earnings come out next week. I understand we're all in this to make money. We're not in this to lose money. Change it to blue. I don't love it. So just sit on your hands for a few days. See how the market digests the earnings announcement, whether it's whatever day it is this week, and next week get into selling premium on it. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I see your point. Give me a second. Do you want me to turn your mic on? Okay. But like these little areas here, this is a 1 hour chart, but these little areas here mixed with like the right expiration date and all the stuff Mitch talks about, I think you'll be in good hands. Okay. So like just pass on. Just let the earnings come out, then attack it. Google at 100. Yeah, I did have I did a whole video on Google. Someone was talking about selling covered calls on it. And you know, let me pause for a second. Let me check one thing. Google. Oh, it's tonight. Okay, so they didn't report yet. Give me 1 second. I'll start sharing again. Okay, so Google didn't report yet. That's this touching that level is going to mean nothing. Okay, so no need to get into a trade. Let earnings come out. This is either going to work perfectly, it's going to drop like a rock, or it's going to gap up. Just stay out of it. And if you were to buy puts now, right, all the IV, like all the value in it is going to start to go away tomorrow. So you're fighting, even if you're right on direction, you're fighting a difficult battle. Just stay away from it. Yeah. Go to Google tomorrow. Go for it. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So tomorrow or Thursday, you could look to redo the chart and see where we are. I've got levels on both supply up there, and those dotted lines are demand, right? So let's see if we can structure something. Maybe on Thursday, if we do this again, we'll have the earnings out. We can see if we construct an iron condor or some kind of spread that looks good. But just pass for now. Don't force yourself to trade. I get it. All right. And let me just end with, all right, so LNG, there was nothing. The pound, there's an upcoming supply zone. Let me go back to the ES. Let's just end on checking on the ES and see where that is. Yeah, still the same distance away, but let's see if it clears it and gets in there, and we'll see what happens. These two levels where I think will be the turning points of this little rally here. And like I said, do I expect it to sustain itself and really push us to the back to the lows? Definitely could. I getting a vibe. The candle's real bullish. That maybe they will touch either of these levels and work and get some money out of it. But I think overall, it's probably gonna. I think we want to head back up. That's just me. And that's not a trade that you should be taking. It's just reassess. If it breaks levels, we'll look for demand zones on lower time frames to get in. If these supply zones hold, we'll either get in here or we'll short from an hourly or something like that. All right. But more on that later. We do have AIG is still active from last week. DAL, I think, hit the stop loss, and Comcast is active. AIG. I mean, it's holding. This is a good thing. So, it hasn't turned around just yet, but that holding over the weekend, we should do a whole course on it. We should do a whole presentation for you guys on. So this is sitting at 1-to-1. I held on too, so I'm in this, right? And that touch of that wick touch there, I was very, very positive this thing was gonna. I held over the weekend because we weren't at 2-to-1 yet. So I think I was up like $100, so like a contract. So now we're back in the zone. This trade starting to look a little bit more difficult. I just didn't want to take the 1-to-1 there. Really thought we'd get at least to 2 before we went into the weekend. So I knew the risk. I took it. It was a cheap trade. It's it is what it is. Luckily we had 2 weeks away that monster XLV trade. So all in all, we'll see how this week pans out. But so far, that's where we are. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I will let the recording scrub, and I'm probably just going to send this out as a Zoom recording as opposed to the uploading to YouTube. Just be faster for me. But look forward a little bit. Hopefully we'll do another call on Thursday. And we are building out a membership area. So you know how you guys have videos here, videos there, trades. I'm gonna put everything together in one spot for you guys, and you're gonna have access to all of it, right? Nothing held back, all of it's gonna be yours. So just we'll have an announcement on that next week or so. So hang tight with me. And we'll talk again soon. So if you guys are done with questions, we'll wrap up. And talk to everybody soon. All right. Thank you. Bye, guys. Take care. Yeah. Okay. Just throw my count. Go to the description. My calendar link is going to be there. Just book a call with me, and we'll hatch it out. Okay. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.